like Tommy Rees is telling the truth about Shedeur Sanders potentially playing and what it's like, Coach, at the bout, speaking about Shedeur Sanders and his offense. Now, we know the Browns offense cannot get going in any shape, form, or fashion. It is pretty much a nightmare out there for this team. Now, Tommy Rees spoke with the media today.
The Cleveland Browns are under fire once again, and this time it's not just about the quarterback depth chart, it's about what's happening behind closed doors. Offensive coordinator Tommy Rees has reportedly blown the whistle on what many fans suspected all along. Shedeur Sanders' limited practice reps have less to do with talent and everything to do with internal politics. In a new interview that's spreading like wildfire across social media, Rees allegedly hinted that certain decisions weren't based purely on performance, setting the internet ablaze with speculation about what's really going on inside the Browns facility.
Since that he's a second string now and he's not getting any first team reps, it also doesn't make sense that he's not being considered to play any games this year, regardless of what we've been hearing. But this is the first time I've actually heard something that has to do with the planning and the development of any of the Browns quarterbacks, especially when it comes to Shedeur. They are being honest. Well, he is being honest. Tommy Rees is being honest with saying that, like, look, he's not going to get a ton of looks, but we're going to maximize.
For weeks, fans have been asking why Shedeur, despite his standout moments in training camp, hasn't been given a fair shot. Now they might finally have an answer, and it's not pretty. Rees didn't name names, but his tone said it all. When pressed about Shedeur's development, he said, "There are factors that go beyond football, things out of my hands. I coach who I'm told to coach." That one statement sent shockwaves through the league. Within hours, insiders began connecting dots, suggesting that head coach Kevin Stefanski may be the one pulling the strings. Sources claim Stefanski has been cautious about giving Shedeur too much spotlight too early, worried it might create tension in the locker room or undermine the veteran starters. But Rees's frustration, reportedly growing for weeks, finally boiled over, and now the Browns' already fragile quarterback room looks like it's on the verge of implosion. This revelation comes just days after that leaked Browns practice footage showing Shedeur tearing up the field went viral, with fans demanding answers about his role. Many believe the silence from team officials was strategic, a way to downplay his performance and maintain the narrative that he's still developing.
That's not my place, to answer, to even be able to give the answer to that. I feel like it's not in my control. So I'm not even going to think about that or have that even in my thought process of why it is. Like, there's a lot of people that want to have the opportunity to be at this level, and I'm here, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. So whenever that is, it is. But it doesn't make me feel down or it doesn't make me feel left out or anything, because I know who I am as a person. I know who I am as an individual.
But with Rees's comments out in the open, that narrative is starting to crumble. If politics really are dictating playing time, then Cleveland's coaching hierarchy might be facing its biggest crisis in years. Rees's candid tone has sparked widespread debate. Is this about protecting egos, managing media pressure, or something deeper, like a power struggle over who truly controls the Browns' offensive direction? Behind the scenes, tensions reportedly have been building between Rees and Stefanski for weeks. Sources close to the team say that Rees has been pushing to give Shedeur more snaps in joint practices and preseason drills, arguing that the rookie's poise and execution speak for themselves. But each time, those requests were allegedly denied. Instead, Stefanski has doubled down on a strict veteran-first approach, prioritizing established players even when their performance has dipped.
And him and everybody else that we talked to have said that Shedeur looks good. He looks really good.
Yes.
He looks better. And we got Zach that say Dylan Gabriel ain't even an NFL quarterback.
That's true.
So how is it that this man can't get a rep with the one, but that non-NFL quarterback can?
We all
what
agree with
sense
that.
does that make?
It makes no sense.
Clearly, the guys running the team disagree with us.
Man,
it doesn't make any sense.
And they're the ones. What are y'all trying to?
Some within the organization see that as smart coaching discipline. Others call it favoritism that's holding back the franchise's future. And now that Rees has gone public, those internal disagreements are spilling into the open for the entire football world to see. What's most explosive about this situation is the timing. The Browns have spent years trying to rebuild credibility after a string of controversies and quarterback instability. But with Rees's revelation now painting a picture of dysfunction and politics behind the scenes, that effort could unravel fast. Fans are already lighting up the comment sections, calling for accountability and demanding transparency from the front office. If Shedeur really is being sidelined for non-football reasons, Cleveland could find itself not only facing backlash from fans, but potentially losing one of the most promising young QBs in the league before he even gets his shot. To understand how the situation spiraled into public controversy, it's important to look at the dynamic between Tommy Rees and Kevin Stefanski. Rees, who joined the Browns to revamp the offense and inject new energy into the quarterback room, was reportedly given partial control over QB development, especially for younger talent like Shedeur Sanders. Early reports from camp said Rees and Shedeur had built a strong connection, with Rees impressed by the rookie's film study habits and leadership in the huddle.
I came to Cleveland to work for Kevin. That's really the reason I took this job 2 years ago. Think the world of him, still think the world of him. Really, fortunate for the support he's given me over the last week, the support he's had for me over the last couple of years. I wanted to come to Cleveland to work for Kevin. I think the timing of it, you have a bye week, you have some time to step away and look at things through a different perspective and want to create a spark for the offense. And, again, how I feel is whatever they want me to do, whatever's asked of me to help us win games, that's what I want to do at the high.
But according to team insiders, that relationship became a point of tension. Stefanski, known for his tightly controlled structure and emphasis on veteran trust, wasn't ready to hand over that much authority to a young coordinator, especially when the quarterback in question came with a massive spotlight and fan following. When Shedeur arrived in Cleveland, the hype was unmatched. Cameras followed every move, social media lit up after every throw, and sports media framed him as the next big thing before he'd even taken a professional snap. For a team like the Browns, still recovering from years of media scrutiny, that kind of attention was both a blessing and a curse. Stefanski reportedly wanted to keep things quiet, insisting on protecting the process. But Rees saw it differently. According to one insider, he told the coaching staff, "You don't hide greatness, you develop it." That line, allegedly said behind closed doors, sums up the growing divide. As the preseason approached, those philosophical differences turned into open disagreements. Rees pushed for Shedeur to get more reps with the first unit, arguing that iron sharpens iron and that testing him against the top defense would accelerate his growth.
Maximize opportunities, even if there aren't a ton of reps to go around. You got to be creative with how you create some extra reps, specifically to get Shedeur ready if you can't get a bunch of reps there. So the good news is both guys are bought in and doing a good job of working hard and understanding how important those opportunities are, to be ready for the team. So it is a unique situation. I don't know how many times it's probably happened, but probably not a lot. And we have the right two guys mentally right now in their demeanor and how they're prepping and how they're coming to.
Stefanski, however, preferred to ease him in slowly, claiming the focus should remain on team chemistry and stability. On the surface, that might sound reasonable, but Rees's recent statements suggest that something deeper was at play. "It's not about readiness," he said in his interview. "It's about politics." That single quote has thrown gasoline on a fire that was already burning online. The politics Rees referred to could cover a wide range of things, from front office expectations to veteran player contracts. There are even whispers that some high-profile players in the locker room weren't comfortable with Shedeur's growing influence and popularity. His father's legendary status, combined with Shedeur's charisma, reportedly made some veterans uneasy, not because of jealousy, but because of the pressure that comes with a Sanders in the locker room. Stefanski may have wanted to maintain control by keeping Shedeur in a supporting role until the media frenzy died down. But with Rees now airing out frustrations, that decision looks more like damage control than strategy. For Shedeur, this controversy puts him in a tough position. He's been careful not to say anything that could be seen as disrespectful to the coaching staff, maintaining professionalism despite the noise.
Thing I don't understand at all. Maybe they think to themselves, we don't need to give you these many practice reps because we're going to give you a bunch of game reps. So maybe we just want to get you rested. He is coming off a sore shoulder and all those things. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. But I don't like it that much. I don't at all. I think that going into this game, sitting some of the best wide receivers that you have is kind of diminishing him a little bit as well, because
But fans have noticed his frustration, subtle changes in tone during interviews, quieter public appearances, and less social media activity. Those who know his game recognize that Shedeur thrives under pressure, but even the most disciplined player can only stay quiet for so long. If this situation continues, Cleveland might have a storm brewing inside its own house, and one that could reshape the team's future if not handled carefully. The fallout from Tommy Rees's comments has already begun to ripple through the league. Sports networks are running with the story non-stop, labeling it the Browns' internal power struggle. On social media, fans are drawing battle lines, some defending Stefanski's approach, others calling for Rees to take full control of quarterback development. But what makes this controversy even more dangerous is how it highlights the ongoing tension between football tradition and modern player influence. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie. He represents a generational shift. His father, Deion Sanders, redefined the relationship between athlete and brand, and now Shedeur is walking that same path. That makes him both a rising star and a lightning rod for controversy. According to reports, Rees feels that the Browns are failing to capitalize on that potential. One source close to the situation said, Tommy believes Shedeur's presence could elevate the entire team, not just on the field, but in terms of leadership and culture. But some people in the building see him as a distraction instead of an opportunity. That statement cuts to the heart of the problem. The Browns are caught between two worlds, one that values control and hierarchy, and another that thrives on innovation and momentum. Rees seems to understand that balancing those forces is the only way forward. But Stefanski's old-school mindset may be holding the organization back. The frustration from fans is reaching new levels. Many point to the leaked practice footage showing Shedeur lighting up the field as proof that the kid deserves more reps.
Is there anything to this Shedeur not getting first-team reps?
I think it's a little bit strange.
Yeah.
You know?
You do think it? So you think
Yeah,
it is?
I mean,
okay.
the guy's
All right.
one turned ankle from, or
Yeah.
one concussion check from upstairs. Drake May had to leave the game for 2 plays last week because the upstairs they thought he had a concussion. So
Right.
how could he not get 1 rep during the week? Now, just because that's the answer doesn't mean that's what.
How are you going to bench a player who's clearly outworking everyone? One viral comment read. Others have accused the team of being too scared to let him shine, arguing that keeping him on the sidelines is hurting the Browns' credibility. Even former players have weighed in, saying that Rees's honesty is rare in a league where politics often outweigh performance. One retired NFL veteran said bluntly, if what Tommy's saying is true, then that kid's being robbed of his shot, plain and simple. Behind the scenes, the front office is reportedly scrambling to contain the damage. Statements are being drafted and PR officials are urging both coaches to stay off the record for the time being. But silence can only last so long. The public now knows there's tension, and no amount of media training can hide that. Some insiders believe Rees might even be risking his job by speaking out, but others see it as a calculated move, forcing the team's hand before the situation gets worse. After all, if Rees gets pushed out for telling the truth, it only validates everything he said about politics over performance. Meanwhile, the locker room energy has shifted. Players are reportedly taking sides, with some backing Rees's push for fairness and others siding with Stefanski's cautious approach. That division could become toxic fast if the coaching staff doesn't regain control. In a league where unity is everything, public tension between coaches is the last thing a team needs heading into the season. What happens next could determine not just Shedeur's trajectory, but the future of Cleveland's entire leadership structure. Now, all eyes are on the Browns to see how they respond. If Tommy Rees's claims of internal politics are true, the team faces a major crossroads. Either they acknowledge the issue and course correct, or they risk alienating both fans and players who believe in Shedeur's potential. Insiders are already whispering that the front office is considering reshuffling responsibilities, possibly giving Rees more influence over offensive planning to keep him from walking. That move could signal a shift toward a more open and merit-based approach, but only if the team is willing to face the truth about what's been holding them back. The deeper issue here goes beyond one rookie or one coach. It's about trust. Fans trust that teams play their best players. Players trust that coaches make decisions based on merit, not politics. Once that trust is broken, it's hard to repair. The Browns' reputation has taken hits before, but this situation feels different because it exposes a culture problem rather than a performance one. If Shedeur Sanders, a player widely praised for his discipline, football IQ, and leadership, is truly being held back for reasons unrelated to the game, it sends a message that could echo throughout the league. Tommy Rees' decision to speak out may have been risky, but it's also reignited a crucial conversation about transparency in professional sports. Too often, teams hide behind closed doors, making choices that fans never understand. But in today's media landscape, secrets don't stay buried for long. Rees's words pulled back the curtain, showing that even at the highest level, politics can shape careers. Whether you agree with his approach or not, one thing's undeniable. He's sparked accountability in an organization that's long needed it. As for Shedeur, the spotlight on him has never been brighter. How he responds to this moment will define his early NFL legacy. Those close to him say he's staying locked in, focused on his craft, blocking out the noise, and waiting for his chance to prove everyone wrong. If and when that chance comes, the expectations will be sky high. But if the viral footage and camp reports are any indication, he's ready. The question is, will the Browns finally give him the opportunity to show it on his own terms? No matter how this plays out, one thing's for sure. The Browns quarterback controversy isn't going away anytime soon. Tommy Rees's revelations have shifted the entire narrative, from whispers and speculation to outright exposure. And as fans continue to demand answers, the organization's next move could define not just the future of Shedeur Sanders, but the integrity of the entire Cleveland franchise. For more exclusive updates, player insights, and behind-the-scenes breakdowns on this developing story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Field Talks, where we break the biggest NFL headlines with real analysis, raw insight, and zero filters.